Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I have a delicious fall dessert recipe to share. I'm making a pumpkin pound cake. But before we get started, this video is part of a Fall Food Friday collab hosted by Fallon over at Moss Family TV. I'll have Fallon's channel as well as a playlist linked in my description box below. So when you're done watching this video, head on over and see all the other fall recipes. If you're coming over from the playlist, welcome. My name is Valerie and I'm so glad you're here. I would love it if you would hit that subscribe button and become part of my YouTube family. Now let's get into this pumpkin pound cake. This recipe is amazing and it's really not hard at all to make. I'm starting out in my stand mixer. I added in 1.5 cups of room temperature butter. I'm just getting the attachment out of the way here now, so it's easier for me to add stuff in. And that was 2 cups of packed brown sugar, along with 1 cup of granulated sugar. Now mix these together until it becomes light and fluffy. It'll take about 5 minutes or so. But if your butter's not at room temperature, it'll be clumpy instead of smooth and creamy. Now scrape down your bowl to make sure you get everything that's hanging out in the bottom down there. Now I'm adding in 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, a teaspoon of the pumpkin pie spice, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. You'll want to use the 100% pure pumpkin for this recipe and not the pumpkin pie filling. And that's 1 1/4 cup I'm adding in there, so not quite a full can. Mix this until everything is well combined and make sure to scrape your bowl down in between. I turn the mixer back on and I'm adding in 5 eggs. Try to add these in slowly and make sure to let it mix until well combined after adding each egg. Now for the last ingredient, the flour. With the mixer on low speed, add in 3 cups of all-purpose flour. And I just poured my flour onto a piece of parchment paper, folded it in half, and that way it was easier for me to just gradually add it in. Be careful not to overmix that. Mix it until just combined. I'm using a Bundt pan for this. I greased it very well with Crisco, and I'm spraying it with nonstick spray. The Baker's Joy is my favorite. It has a little flour in it, which helps a lot. This batter is really thick, and that's okay. That's how it's supposed to be. I spooned it into the Bundt pan and tried my best to spread it out as evenly as possible. Now this bakes at 325 for 75 to 85 minutes. I was checking on it and it was about done, and my house was smelling so good at this point. Mine did end up taking 85 minutes to bake. And since pound cakes are so deep, I check for doneness with a spaghetti noodle. And a heads up, I try to do this gently and quickly because I have had the noodles to break off in the pound cake before. I let it cool in the pan for about 10 minutes. Now I'm flipping it onto a wire rack to let it cool completely before we add the glaze. And it's like the greatest feeling when that cake comes out of the pan perfectly. I have definitely had them to stick before though. After this cooled completely, I made a maple cinnamon glaze for it. I have 1.5 cups of powdered sugar in my bowl here. Add a pinch of salt and a teaspoon of cinnamon. Now whisk that. Then add in 4 tablespoons of melted butter, along with 1/3 cup of maple syrup. And this is optional, but I like to add in a teaspoon of maple extract. But you could also do vanilla extract instead. Now mix this up and you may have to work at it for a minute or two, but it will come together. If you want a thinner consistency, just add in a teaspoon or two of milk. Now I'm pouring that glaze all over the top of the cake. And I try to keep it on the top in the center. That way I can try to control how it drips down. I ended up with a little extra glaze in the center. It all worked out though. I just scooped it up from the center and let it drip over to the outside. And let me tell you, nobody was complaining about too much glaze. A cream cheese icing would also be amazing on this cake. But my husband prefers this glaze, so that's what I made. This cake is absolutely delicious. It's loaded with pumpkin flavor, and you definitely need this in your life. I really hope you give it a try. You'll be so glad you did. That is it for today's video. The recipe will be in the description box below. Be sure to check out Fallon's channel for Moss Family TV, along with the playlist for more fall recipes. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoy videos like this, and I will see you in the next one.